I bought this LED kit to add to my KLR 650, and I was reading some of the reviews on Amazon, and people complained about it killing their battery over time. Some of them talked about adding an inline switch to the wiring so they could turn it on or off, but that's really complicated. If you read the instructions, it says to tap into a fuse if that's a concern that you have about it draining your battery. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I just need a couple tools. This here is a multimeter. It lets you test for power. You can get it at any hardware store, pretty cheap. And then this is an ADA circuit. It lets you tap into an existing fuse and add a second one. And you can get these at any automotive store. So I'm going to go ahead and take the seat off my bike, and I'll show you how you get this started. Alright, so I got my seat off. This is where my fuse boxes are. You can see it says head, ignition, brake, fan, meter. So what I want to do is find a fuse that I know is going to come on when I turn the key to on. So I believe that should be the headlight, because I know that does come on as soon as I turn the key to the on position. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the multimeter, and we will test this out. You can see I have my multimeter here. It's currently reading 0. So I'm going to, again, tap into the head fuse because that's the easiest thing to use. So I just need to pull out my needle nose pliers because that's the easiest way to get this fuse out of here. And then we will start testing for power. So your black wire from multimeter is going to need to go to a ground. That can be any bolt that you have around here. I have a couple up front that I'm going to use. And then the red is to test for power. You can see I'm currently getting 0 on either side. If I move the meter, you'll be able to see. So that's what I expect with the bike off. I shouldn't be getting any power. Now when I turn the bike to on, I would expect that I should get power on at least one side, because you only have one load side for a fuse. So you can see I'm now getting 12.5. Over here I'm getting 0 still, so that's not the load side. So this should work for my purposes and give me power only when I have the bike on, and that should keep things from draining. Alright, so I've opened up the ADA circuit. You can see it comes with different fuses. And the ADA circuit itself, it has the top and the bottom. The bottom is where you'll put your existing circuit, and on top is where you want to put a slightly smaller circuit. Reason being is if it does blow, you don't want it to have enough power to go through and blow the second circuit. So I'll go ahead and get a 10 added in on the bottom and a 7.5 on the top. So you can see they're now both put in there. The red wire comes out from the top so that you can attach your new accessory line. And then that just slides right into your fuse box in the existing slot. It sits high enough up that it goes right over the top of the other fuses. The only issue you're going to have here is you're not really going to be able to close your fuse box because it does sit up higher. You need that wire coming out the side. But it shouldn't really be an issue because you'll have your seat sitting over the top of it. It'll keep this open. So over here, you've got the red wire. Like I said, that's where you're going to attach the accessory. So I'm going to go ahead and get that power line crimped in there. And then you're going to need to take the lead, or the ground, and put that into your battery, which for me is down here under this panel. So I'll have to get that pulled off. But just for testing, I put my ground wire under that bolt I was using for testing with the multimeter. You can see I've got my red wire clamped in there. And this white wire here is actually going to go to your brake line if you want this whole thing to turn red when you hit the brakes, which is exactly what I want. That's the reason I bought this kit, not another one. So I'll have to go through these harnesses back here, figure out which one of these gives power to my brake lights. But we're going to go ahead and test this unit out first and make sure that everything is working as intended before I go through that final step. So you can see everything's hooked up with the red wire, like I said. Ground is plugged in. You've got your control unit here. This has an antenna on the side of it, so you can use the remote control. And we'll go ahead and turn this on. you'll see my headlight comes on still, and the lights also come on. So it is working as I expect. You can see there's different colors you can choose, different modes, and you get 8 of these different light pods, so you can set them all over your bike. So it should look pretty cool when it's all set up. But we're going to go ahead and work on getting that brake line connected. So give me a moment and we'll see what that looks like. All right, so in the wiring diagram, it said it should have been my red wire coming out of the back of the harness, but that did not appear to be the case. So I tested all 3 of the different wires in this harness and found that the center one is the one that gives power when I hit the brakes. So I've got that white wire pressed in there for testing. You can see when I hit the rear brake, turns red. Hit the front brake, turns red. So it's working exactly as intended. So I just need to get that wire connected properly. I'll pull out some T-taps, which in my opinion are the easiest to use. You can use any other method for tapping into a wire you want, but you'll see what that looks like in just a second. All right, so you can see I got the T-tap connected in there. I'll go ahead and test the lights. They're coming on when I hit the brakes. Going red. Brake light's still working. So it's all working as intended. And I hope this helps you out.